What's up, guys? It is John from Side Hustle Experiment. In today's video, we're going to break down my biggest sales day to date on Amazon. I'm going to kind of go over how I've made it possible, and just kind of a breakdown of 3 or 4 of the biggest takeaways I've had doing this actual number, and some advice for you guys how you could hit this number or whatever number you are shooting for. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I've done over $1 million in sales on Amazon, and I teach you guys how to make money selling on Amazon on this channel. So if you want to learn how to make money selling on Amazon, definitely follow, check out some other videos on the channel, and yeah, like and subscribe. With that being said, let's just get into it. So Black Friday, I did $6,500, over $6,500 in sales in a single day. Absolutely crazy. The highest I've done before that was about like 3,500 or so. I was just, actually, maybe it was 37. I was just shy of 4,000 about a couple days ago. I was shocked. I didn't really see it coming. Last Black Friday, I was definitely not prepared. Because I just kind of started doing online arbitrage, and I wasn't really at, the scale that I am now, where I planned around it to do volume. Last year was just kind of like just sending in normal stuff. So that is crazy. For some people, that's a big number. For other people, that's a really small number. Some people wake up to that number. For me, super happy with that number. And it's only going to get better as we kind of roll into December. So there's about 3 or 4 things that really played a role in this. And I'm going to kind of give you some insight into them. So number 1, one of the biggest things I did was I stopped looking at all my VA's leads and literally just focused on what was selling last year at this time, certain categories, stuff that I sold last year. There was some stuff I sold last year that were, if you looked at a Keep It chart, you'd be like, this is absolute garbage. But I knew it's just because it's seasonal. And I was able, if I could go back, I'd probably buy 3 or 4 times as much as some of the stuff that I bought. Just because it moves so quickly once, it got checked into the warehouse. So I basically just focused on historical data that I have. Now, if you're new selling, it kind of sucks because you don't have historical data. For example, this Q4 is much easier because I know what I sold last year. I can focus on some of that stuff. And, let's say you're selling, a water bottle or something like that, and you sold it last year. Well, now that your Q4 is here, maybe you look at different water bottles or that same water bottle, maybe in different colors, all that kind of stuff, or anything related to water bottles. So it makes it much easier. A second part to that is I know how much I sold last year and how much got returned. So I have an idea in my head where it's like, okay, last year, let's say I just sold 50 of this item and I sold it in about a week. And I thought I was buying a lot at the time. I was like, oh, this is a big buy. But it all sold in a week. So knowing that allows me to go deeper on that item. If it is in, definitely it still looks good. It just has history. If it's still good after a year, I mean, there's some confidence there. And it's not saying that it was flat for the whole year. There was definitely a little down, but it was consistently where I needed to be. So that I went really deep on that kind of stuff. So I just really focused on what worked last year and kind of doubled down on that instead of just chasing random leads that the VAs are giving me. They do a good job, but for this particular time of the year, I just really wanted to focus on stuff that worked last year and build on top of that. So yeah, I focus a lot on that. Second thing that was a big contributor to this, I prep pretty much, I would say maybe 80% of the items that I bought. Now, it was not fun. I don't know if I will do it again next year, but I could tell you I was really happy yesterday that I did it. A lot of people don't realize when you're working with a prep center, it almost puts you, even if they prep like really, really quick, it puts you like a week-ish behind. It just really depends. So for me, I could get stuff, arrives, I could just prep it that night and it goes out the next day. And it doesn't have to be over 100 units. Usually if it's like 50 units, I'll just ship it because check-in times are slower right now. So all the time you could get, I've been putting it to use. Every night I've been prepping items, or at least getting them ready, whether it's polybagging them, printing the labels, anything I could do. Scheduling the pickups, to just speed up that process. A lot of people like to say that, a prep center is like the greatest thing ever and essential. And you know what? I would agree with them. I mean, I love using a prep center, but for Q4, for me, it's all about timing. Maybe I just haven't found that right prep center yet that, could really do what I would want them to in Q4. But we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, just prepping my own stuff. It kind of sucked, but it wasn't really that bad. You put on a podcast, watch some YouTube videos or whatever, listen to music, just kind of bang it out. So yeah, that played a huge role in it. Also, I know the warehouse where I am is much, much quicker at checking in items versus the prep center that I send stuff to and the warehouses they ship to. So knowing that, I definitely buy a little differently. Obviously, I can't bank on that that fulfillment center, prepping at the same speed or checking stuff in at the same speed, but it's definitely faster than the other one. So prepping my own items definitely gave me a huge leg up, and just getting it shipped out as soon as possible instead of waiting and letting it build up. I just got everything out. The third thing, this was probably the biggest, was networking. I talk about networking all the time. You're probably sick of it, but I can tell you right now, maybe I would have done like $3,000 or $4,000 that day if it wasn't for networking. There were so many items that even throughout the year people have sent me, or there's about 2 or 3 people that I share with, I'd say fairly regularly, or we talk, I don't know, maybe every other day on Instagram or text or whatever. And they're items from them. I could just think of one in particular that will probably make me about $400 to $600, and that's just for one unit that they just suggested I buy. Another big thing was recommending or saying, hey, this store is having a sale next week. I saw it on the internet or I heard about it. There was just one sale that I got to jump on about maybe a week-ish early. And that allowed me to, so I'm a big proponent of shopping before the sale happens. So basically I was just pretending, that the sale was going on when it wasn't, and making a list. It was tempting to buy some of the stuff because a lot of it was discounted, but I knew a bigger discount was coming. So knowing that made me a ton of money, just because, one, not buying when there was a discount and waiting for the better discount. If I didn't know that, I would have been buying during that other sale. It still would have been good, but not as good as it was. And just knowing sales. I mean, it sounds silly. It's like, oh, duh. Like, you just go to like Rakuten and like you shop the sale. But trust me, once you start to like build up and have a lot of other stuff going on, like sourcing, and maybe you just source normal stuff, it almost isn't like second nature to like check around for other stores, or you get used to shopping at certain stores and, you know, forget about other stores. Or sometimes the sale is like a text message and it doesn't hit email yet, or doesn't hit email. There's just so many different situations. So, you know, knowing when sales are in advance and just kind of shopping sales that I've shopped at in the past. You know, there were some where I knew the list price on the website was going to be much lower on the sale day, because I have a document of everything I've ever bought and what I paid for it. And around that time last year, what I paid for it, and sure enough, it went down to around that price. So historical data again on that. But yeah, networking plays a huge role. All of these people that I network with, and we send each other leads, I met on Instagram, sending them a random DM. One person, we talk every other Saturday with another person, and someone actually DM me. I helped them get started on Amazon, and they're like, hey, like, I'm talking to this other person, like, do you want to join us on Saturday? I was like, yeah, let's do it. And we've become pretty good friends through that. And someone else, it was just like a random DM. So, you know, you just never know what will come of DMs or random people just talking to you or answering DMs or questions. You just never know. So, and I would say number 4 as kind of like a bonus. It's getting really sunny here. Don't get over your head. There were times where I wanted to spend more on a certain item, or kind of go a little further, but I decided not to. And I was kind of happy I was, because I think one of the most important parts of Q4, or just being an Amazon seller in general, is to be wide and not deep. I know earlier I talked about going deep and buying, you know, a lot of certain products, but I'm not going like 300, 400 deep, or like 1,000 deep. Like, I'm maybe going like 100-ish, 150. So just realize that. And like, I wanted to maybe double down, and like, could I move 300 units? Maybe. But then it's like, I don't know. I just like to have things spread out. I'd rather be able to buy 100 of 10 different things than 1,000 of just one thing. Because you just never know what could happen. That listing could get deactivated. You know, the listing could tank. Other people could drop off the listing. Also, like, just being aware that other people are shopping this sale, and other sales and other deals. So I like to spread it out a little bit. So I would say, yes, I'm going deep, but I'm also going wide. And, you know, that is super important just in general, especially in Q4. Last year, I did chase some of those Bolo toys and stuff. And if I went all in on like 1 or 2 of them, there was one I could remember very distinctly. It was like $8 selling for $40. And I was like, you cannot lose on this. Guess what? I lost on it. I ended up losing about $5-ish a unit. Amazon came on it. Turns out it was like a secondary listing. It wasn't the main listing. But since I didn't really know what the hell I was doing last Q4, yeah, that happened. So was only 20 into that one, so lost, I don't know, $100 or so. But if I went like 100 deep on that would have been really painful. So always just keep that in mind. Be confident in your buys, but also spread it around to other ASINs, or go deep on one, but make sure you have money to spread out to other things. that's what I got for you guys today. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. Leave a comment below. How have your sales been? What are you doing this Q4? Or any tips that you want to share? Or if you want any videos, you can request them down below or have any questions. I'll see you guys in the next one.